It starts faster than you expect. Not with screams, not with explosions, but with movement. You are in a city when the first confirmed cases hit the news, and within hours, people begin flowing in the same direction. You don't even question it. You follow. Because when danger appears, the human brain defaults to one ancient rule: stay with the group. If everyone is going there, it must be safe. That instinct kept your ancestors alive on the savannah. In a zombie outbreak, it becomes your first mistake. You tell yourself you're being rational. You're not panicking, just choosing the most logical place to hide. Somewhere familiar, somewhere designed for people, somewhere that feels solid, organized, protected. And that's exactly what millions of others are thinking at the same moment. What you don't realize is that zombies don't hunt randomly. They follow sound, scent, heat, and movement. And nothing concentrates all four better than human confidence. In the first 72 hours of an outbreak, most deaths don't happen because people are weak or slow. They happen because people make identical decisions under stress. The same roads clog, the same doors get sealed, the same safe locations turn into pressure cookers filled with noise, fear, and bodies. From a predator-prey perspective, you've just helped create the perfect feeding ground. This video isn't about where zombies are. It's about where humans go when they think they're being smart. And by the time you realize everyone chose the same place, it's already too late. You push through the sliding doors of the supermarket and immediately feel relief. Shelves, aisles, supplies, food, water, medicine. This place makes sense. It was built to support life. You're not the only one who thinks so. Carts are abandoned in the middle of aisles, glass crunches under your feet. Somewhere, metal shutters are half lowered, screeching every time someone forces them back up. The sound doesn't stop. It multiplies. Supermarkets and malls fail for one simple reason. They attract people before they attract zombies. Every human inside is breathing, sweating, bleeding, shouting. To a zombie, this isn't shelter. It's a signal flare. Acoustically, these buildings are nightmares. High ceilings amplify noise. Long corridors carry echoes. One dropped can, one scream, one fight over supplies, and the sound travels far beyond the parking lot. You move deeper inside, thinking distance equals safety. It doesn't. These places are designed to guide flow, not defend it. Entrances funnel crowds inward. Emergency exits are locked, blocked, or unknown. When panic spikes, people don't spread out. They compress. From a biological standpoint, density is death. If one infected person stumbles in, the transmission rate explodes. Not because of zombies outside, but because of chaos inside. There's another problem you didn't consider: time. Supermarkets are looted fast. Within hours, shelves are stripped, not by planners, but by panic. People take what they can carry, not what they need. Fights break out. Injuries happen. Blood hits the floor. Zombies don't need to breach the building immediately. They wait. They follow the noise. They surround. When the doors finally give way, there is nowhere to run. Aisles become choke points. Freezers become dead ends. You're trapped in a box designed to keep customers browsing, not escaping. The cruel irony is that the resources you came for are what killed you. Food brought people. People brought noise. Noise brought zombies. From the outside, a mall looks like a fortress. From the inside, it's a maze full of bait. And once you're in it, you're no longer hiding. You're advertising. When the streets become unsafe, your thoughts turn to medicine, to doctors, to order. You head for the hospital. The Red Cross still means safety in your mind. As you step inside, the air feels colder, heavier. Backup generators hum somewhere deep in the building. Lights flicker, not enough to go dark, just enough to keep your nerves tight. At first it feels organized. Beds, equipment, supplies. This is where people are supposed to survive. That belief is dangerously outdated. Hospitals are not sanctuaries during outbreaks. They are where outbreaks accelerate. Long before the general population realizes what is happening, hospitals are already overwhelmed. The first infected don't collapse at home. They come here. Fever, seizures, confusion, aggression. Every one of them pass through these halls. Every surface you touch has been touched by someone who was sick, panicking, or dying. From a structural standpoint, hospitals are traps. Hallways are long and narrow, perfect for ambush. Rooms branch off like teeth in a jaw. Elevators fail quickly, forcing you into stairwells where sound echoes endlessly. Zombies don't need to run. They just wait at corners, and you can't see them until you're already too close. There's also the human factor. Hospitals attract the injured and the desperate, people who can't move fast, people who scream when they see blood, people who refuse to leave loved ones behind. Once fear spreads, medical order collapses. Doctors stop being doctors and become survivors. Triage turns ruthless. Locked doors appear without warning. You are no longer a patient. You are an obstacle. Scientifically, infection risk here is catastrophic. Bodily fluids, open wounds, reused spaces. Even if zombies didn't exist, this would be one of the most dangerous biological environments you could enter. Add predators drawn to sound and scent, and you've created a perfect storm. The worst part is the illusion of rescue. You wait, believing help will come. That military evacuation, that cure, that organized response. But hospitals are always priority targets, and when evacuation happens, it happens fast and selectively. By the time you realize no one is coming for you, exits are blocked and corridors are full. You didn't come here to hide. You came here to be saved. And that delay, that hope, costs more lives in hospitals than anywhere else during the outbreak. When fear peaks, authority feels like safety. Sirens, uniforms, weapons. So you move toward the police station, the military checkpoint, the place where order is supposed to hold when everything else collapses. From a distance, it looks promising. Barricades, armed personnel, floodlights cutting through the dark. For a moment, you believe you've made the right call. That moment doesn't last. These locations fail not because they are weak, but because they are overwhelmed by expectation. Everyone assumes protection is unlimited. It isn't. Police stations and checkpoints are designed for control, not mass shelter. Their layouts are rigid, full of narrow entrances and controlled access points. When hundreds of civilians arrive at once, those same defenses become choke points. People press forward, voices rise, panic spreads, and every decibel carries far beyond the perimeter. From a tactical perspective, you are walking into a target. Weapons fire draws attention, engines run constantly, radios crackle. To zombies, this is a beacon. And unlike civilians, they don't hesitate at barricades. They pile up. Pressure builds. One breach is enough to turn discipline into chaos. There is also a truth no one wants to face. In a real collapse, civilians are not the priority. Command structures focus on continuity, not rescue. Evacuation plans exist, but they are limited and classified. When orders come down, gates close. Those inside the inner perimeter move. Those outside are left in the open. You can be meters away from safety and still be expendable. Inside, the atmosphere changes quickly. Armed people under stress make fast, brutal decisions. Misidentification becomes lethal. One wrong movement, one shouted argument, and you're treated as a threat. From a survival standpoint, this is one of the most volatile human environments imaginable. The irony is that these places don't fall because zombies overrun them first. They fall because humans flood them first. By the time zombies arrive in force, ammunition is low, nerves are shot, and escape routes are already compromised. You came here seeking protection. Instead, you stepped into a pressure cooker where every failure is amplified and every mistake is final. When authority breaks, it doesn't break gently. It snaps. And when it does, you're standing in the blast radius. When the surface feels exposed, your instincts drive you downward. Underground means hidden. Basements, subways, parking garages, storm shelters, thick concrete, limited entrances, darkness. You tell yourself this is where you wait it out, where zombies can't find you. The moment the door closes behind you, the outside world goes quiet. And that silence feels like safety. It isn't. Underground spaces fail slowly, which makes them far more dangerous. The first problem is air. Most basements and tunnels are not designed for long-term human occupancy. Oxygen levels drop faster than you expect, especially when fear accelerates breathing. Panic isn't just psychological down here, it's physiological. As carbon dioxide rises, judgment degrades. People become irritable, confused, aggressive. Decisions get worse, not better. Sound behaves differently underground. Every footstep, every whispered argument, every dropped object travels through concrete and steel. Vibrations carry along tunnels and pipes, broadcasting your presence far beyond what you can hear. Zombies don't need line of sight. They follow resonance, and once they begin to gather above or at the entrances, you don't know until escape is no longer possible. Then, there's the geometry of the trap. Most underground shelters have limited exits by design. One stairwell, one ramp, one ladder. If that point is compromised, you are contained, not protected. If someone inside gets infected, there is no distance to create, no airflow to dilute risk, no alternate route to retreat. The spread becomes unavoidable. Human behavior makes it worse. People hoard space, block exits with supplies, argue over control of the entrance. Time stretches. Hours feel like days. Hope fades. When someone finally decides to leave, they force everyone else to move with them, whether they're ready or not. That sudden rush toward a single exit creates exactly the noise and chaos that draws attention. The cruel truth is that underground shelters don't kill you quickly. They exhaust you. They cloud your thinking. They remove your options one by one. By the time you realize the danger isn't outside but all around you, your body is weaker, your mind slower, and your escape window already closed. Going underground feels smart because it hides you from sight. But survival isn't about being unseen. It's about being able to move. And once you go down, movement becomes the one thing you lose first. At some point, fear pushes people to gather. If hiding alone feels risky, hiding together feels safer. You follow signs, messages, rumors, a school, a stadium, a designated shelter. These places promise structure, rules, coordination. When you arrive, you see lines, volunteers, people being counted and directed. For a moment, it feels like civilization is still breathing. This is where numbers turn against you. Large public shelters fail because density changes everything. From a biological standpoint, infection spreads exponentially when people are packed together. One cough, one bite, one untreated wound, and containment becomes impossible. Even without zombies, crowding increases stress hormones, weakens immune response, and accelerates conflict. Add fear, and the system destabilizes fast. These buildings are designed to hold crowds temporarily, not under siege. Gyms and stadiums have wide-open interiors with limited secure exits. Noise never stops. Children cry, arguments echo, someone always panics. To zombies, this constant sound is a homing signal that never shuts off. Perimeters might hold for a while, but pressure builds on every side. Inside, human behavior fractures. Resources become political. Food distribution creates hierarchy. Accusations start when supplies go missing. People watch each other more closely than they watch the doors. Violence doesn't erupt because people are evil, but because stress demands release. When a fight breaks out, others join, not to help, but to protect their position. Mathematically, shelters are doomed by timing. The more people you have, the faster something goes wrong. And when it does, evacuation becomes chaos. Narrow exits fill instantly. People trip, fall, scream. Zombies don't need strategy here. They just move toward the sound. The most dangerous moment in a shelter isn't the breach. It's the decision to open the doors and relocate. That single command turns an unstable system into a stampede. In seconds, order dissolves, and the crowd becomes a weapon against itself. You came here because you believed survival was a group effort. But in outbreaks, survival favors separation, not congregation. The larger the shelter, the louder it becomes. And the louder it becomes, the less time you have before something answers that call. By now, a pattern should be forming, even if you haven't consciously named it yet. Supermarkets, hospitals, police stations, underground shelters, public safe zones. On the surface, these places failed for different reasons. But underneath, they all collapsed the same way. Not because zombies were unstoppable, but because humans behave predictably. Your brain is wired to look for confirmation under stress. When you see others choosing the same path, your confidence increases, not decreases. This is called social proof. And in normal life, it saves time and energy. In a crisis, it creates convergence. Millions of people, making the same reasonable choice at the same time, overload every system built for normal conditions. Roads, buildings, supply chains, even empathy itself. From a predator-prey perspective, this is catastrophic. Predators don't need intelligence when prey self-organizes into clusters. Noise, scent, heat, and movement spike wherever humans gather. Zombies don't chase individuals as much as they drift toward patterns. And human behavior draws those patterns in bright, obvious lines. The most unsettling truth is this: the danger wasn't the places, it was the timing. You didn't arrive too late. You arrived exactly when everyone else did. Safety evaporates the moment a location becomes a consensus. Once a place is widely believed to be safe, it has already lost its advantage. There's also a psychological trap at work: commitment bias. Once you choose a location, you defend that choice mentally. You ignore warning signs. You downplay risk. You stay longer than you should, because leaving means admitting you were wrong. That hesitation costs more lives than any bite. This is the twist most people never see. Zombie outbreaks don't punish ignorance. They punish sameness. Doing what makes sense to everyone else is what puts you in the highest risk environments on the map. If you want to survive, you don't need to be stronger, faster, or better armed. You need to be earlier, quieter, and willing to look wrong. Because the moment you feel reassured by the crowd around you is the exact moment you should be moving away from it. Here's the insight that changes everything, and it's uncomfortable to accept. Survival in a zombie outbreak isn't about finding the safest place. It's about avoiding the places that feel safe to everyone else. The moment a location enters the collective imagination as a refuge, it becomes a destination. And destinations are where people die. The survivors you never hear about are the ones who didn't wait for instructions, didn't follow signs, didn't move toward lights or crowds. They moved sideways. While everyone rushed toward protection, they focused on invisibility. While others searched for walls and weapons, they searched for time and distance. They didn't ask, "Where should I hide?" They asked, "Where will no one else be in the next 12 hours?" That question changes your behavior. You stop thinking in terms of buildings and start thinking in terms of movement. You value exits over supplies, silence over shelter, flexibility over comfort. A place that looks terrible on day 1 might be empty on day 3. And emptiness is the rarest resource in an outbreak. This doesn't mean running blindly into the wilderness or isolating without a plan. It means understanding human flow and deliberately stepping out of it. It means leaving early, before panic peaks. It means choosing locations that offer multiple escape routes, low visibility, and minimal human traffic, even if they don't look impressive or heroic. The final mistake most people make is waiting for certainty. They want confirmation that things are really bad before they act. By the time certainty arrives, choices are gone. The outbreak doesn't reward bravery. It rewards timing. If this outbreak were real, the question wouldn't be whether you could fight a zombie. It would be whether you could resist following everyone else. Because the safest place during a collapse is never the one being pointed at. It's the one no one is talking about yet.